Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. And we are in session number 93, closing to the century. So, we are discussing chapter 9. But like before, let's, you know, chant the pranam mantras like we do. So, let's all join our palms and let's discuss the wonderful chapter, chapter number 9, that is the most confidential knowledge. Let me show and display the pranam mantras to you. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, and my beloved spiritual master. Please join your palms and let's chant the pranam mantras. नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाका राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः Hare Krishna. So, welcome back, all of you, to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. And we are having with us Dev Chandan, Hina Mataji, and Vinodji also. All of them have joined. And we also have two more devotees watching online. So, all those who are watching on YouTube, you can also say Hare Krishna. So, welcome back, all of you, for the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. We had lost touch for a while because we had been to the Vrindavan Dham Yatra. So, in the last 1 or 2 weeks, we could not actually have the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. But let's continue from where we had left in the previous session. So we had discussed until verse number 18 in chapter 9. And chapter 9 is called the most confidential knowledge. So, most confidential knowledge means it is Rajaguyya Rajavidyam. It is a very special knowledge which is actually, it is a secret knowledge. Although it's an open secret, not everyone can understand. Why not everyone can understand is because we know that Bhagavad Gita is also called as what? Bhagavad Gita is also called as Gita Upanishad. Right? Gita Upanishad means it is a Shruti. What is Shruti? Directly spoken, anything directly spoken by the Lord, coming from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Lord, is called Shruti. Smriti is that which is expansions given by the great acharyas. They write lot of scriptures that is called Smriti. So that which directly comes from the Lord is called Shruti, the Vedas and the Upanishads. And since Bhagavad Gita is directly spoken by the Lord, it is emanating from the lotus mouth of the Lord. That is why it is called as Gita Upanishad. It is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means that the Lord Himself is speaking. That's why it's called Gita Upanishad, right? And Upanishadic language is coded. Shrutis generally are coded. Only when we understand the Shruti through the medium of the Smritis, that is, by the explanation of the Acharyas, then we will be able to understand it perfectly. So, if you see, most of the words that are used in the Bhagavad Gita are mostly used in the Upanishads also. That's why it is called Gita Upanishad. So, now we have understood in the previous verse, Krishna is saying here, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi, Nivasah Sharanam Surat, Prabhavaha Pralayah Stanam, Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. So we had briefly understood, but let's have a quick recap here because it's very important before we go to the next verse. Understand a little bit about what we had discussed in the previous session. Gatir means the goal. Krishna is goal. So if you see in this whole verse, there are about so many gunas. The gunas of the Lord explained here. Gati, Bharta, Prabhu, Shakshi, Nivasaha, Sharanam, Surat, Prabhavaha, Pralayaha, Sthanam, Nidhanam, Bijam. See, almost about 12 gunas, qualities of the Lord, are explained here. And isn't it nice, when we actually discuss the qualities of the Lord, we get purified, and maybe a tinge of that quality also will come into us. And very interestingly, these are all the names of the Lord also. Gatihi, Krishna in the Vedas and all in the scriptures, all these are the names of the Lord. Gati is one of the name of the Lord. Gati means ultimate goal. The ultimate goal of everything, and especially the spiritual life, is the Supreme Lord. Oh, Paramatma ne Gati. In Kannada, sometimes they say, Bhagwanta ne Gati. They say like that. Gati means what? It's the ultimate goal. The Lord Himself, the Bhagwan, is the Gati He. That is the final goal, ultimate goal. Gati. Bharta. Bharta means one who actually does the Poshana. See, the Lord is Poshaka. He is Bharta. If you analyze so beautifully the grains, are grown in the fields, every time the grains grow, dhanya, when it grows, it's not ordinary. It is the whole process when we understand it is so scientific. So, to create such a thing in different soils, different types of food grains, different types of fruits are emanating. Just example, apples are grown there in somewhere near Himalayas and Kashmir, we see. Very specific. They will never grow here in this Karnataka or Tamil Nadu. If you go, I want to now grow apples, it will not grow because the conditions are different. Now, if you see Kharjura, that is, the dates, that will not be grown in any ordinary kind of weather conditions. It is somewhere else. Like, it needs hot weather where it grows. We have this jawar. Jawar needs a specific kind of, there should be mist, and when there is mist, and on top of that there is sunlight, then what happens when the sunlight falls and that misty crops of the jawar, then it hardens. Because when it hardens with that sunlight, then when we eat it, so that our body also becomes strong. You see, so many things are taking place, it's all taking place because of the Lord. That's why Bharta, his name is Bharta. Bharta means he's a Poshaka. He takes care of everything. Prabhu. Prabhu means he is the master. We have to have that anusandana that yes, the Lord is actually the master of everyone and he is the supreme Lord. He is in control of everything. He is the supreme controller. Is there anything that is not in his control? The sun is setting, the sun is rising, the moon is setting and rising. All the weather, the climatic change, everything is happening under his control. We have no control over it. We can only have some weather sensors saying that okay, the weather forecast can happen because of these conditions. There might be a little bit of bad weather, good weather, normal weather. All these things we can predict to some extent, but actually controlling, if a tornado is coming, we cannot control it. The Lord is in control. Where the tornado go, no, nobody knows. It has to go in a specific direction. Who is directing all these things? The Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Ultimately, He is the Prabhu. You see? So beautifully, everything is in control. He is the Supreme. So we have to do that Anusandhana that yes, He is my master also. He is my Prabhu also. And that is how He is the Supreme Prabhu. We have our Guru, we have our other devotees whom we also call as Prabhu. We accept someone as Prabhu. Why? Because yes, He is the master. We accept someone in our culture as master so that we understand gradually that the Supreme Lord, we have to surrender to Him. He is the Supreme Master. Actually, He is the Supreme Master. We can directly call Him only Prabhu. Why we have to call this other devotees as Prabhu? Many times this question may come. Why we have to call, oh Prabhuji, Rasagna Prabhu? Why we have to call Prabhu? Why we have to call him as Prabhu? The Supreme Lord is Prabhu, right? Like Krishna only saying in the Bhagavad Gita, He is the Prabhu. Then why we have to call some other devotees as Prabhu? Why Prabhu? Because we cannot, as of now, understand that He is our Prabhu. So to gradually, step by step, when we accept a devotee as Prabhu, then that consciousness will dwell slowly into us. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Actually, he is my master. He is my master. And then who is his master? Oh, that is Prabhupada. Oh, if Prabhupada is master, then who's his master? Okay, there is so many devotees are there. The parampara goes on like this. So, like this, when we go, the supreme master is Krishna. He is the supreme master. Prabhu, who Krishna is saying. You see, Shakshi. Shakshat ikshate iti shakshihi. What does it mean? That means he's a witness. Witness means what? He sees everything. He's a shakshi of everything, but he does not require any medium. See, we are right now having a video conference, right? All these video conference people do on different video conferencing platforms. We need a certain device, and certain device is activated only when there is internet. Without internet we cannot actually have a conversation with someone who is sitting in America or in Britain or in Australia, Europe, anywhere in the world. We are able to connect to people only because there is a device, and that device is connected to internet, right? So all this is possible through certain medium. Without internet, without any of these devices, we cannot connect or have a conversation with people. Right now, we are able to have a conversation with each other. You are able to see me, and all this is happening because there is a medium of internet and there is a medium of this device, a laptop or a mobile. So, what's happening here in between you and me? There are so many different things coming up. There is device and this internet, but the Lord is Shakshi. We are not Shakshi because we are dependent on this device and we are dependent on this internet. But the Lord is Shakshi, who is not dependent on any of these devices or neither the internet. He can see, he can connect with anyone in the whole universe without any device. That is the Lord's potency. That is why He's Shakshi. He witnesses everything. So if He's witnessing something, when Lord is witnessing something, and there are some people who say that Brahma Satya, that means the Lord is the only reality and the world is not a reality. There is no world, there's no real world. People say like that. If there is no real world, then what is the meaning of Lord being called as Shakshi? Because Shakshi means he's witnessing something. What will Lord Shakshi? What will he witness? He's witnessing something which is non-real? No, he has to actually witness something that is real. That means this world is also real. So see how when we understand in depth all these different things, then we know that the Lord that who creates everything is real. Lord's creation is also real. He is also real. It's not that only Brahma Satya is there, Jagan Mithya is there. No. Shakshi means he has to Shakshi. He has to Shakshi means witness something that is real. That's why he's Shakshi. He's not dependent on anything. Very important. These words are very, very important. So when we go in depth and understand all these things, we know the real meaning of all these. So Nivasaha. Many times we see people having outside nameplates, and in the nameplates it is mentioned Nivasaha. This is Srinivasaha. We call when you go to Tirupati, the Lord's name is also called as Srinivasaha. Srinivasa means what? Sri is Lakshmi Devi. He's the Nivasa of Lakshmi Devi. That's why it's called Srinivasa. The Lakshmi Vakshasthala, she is always residing in the heart, the chest region of the Lord. That's why his name is Srinivasa. He's the Nivasa. The Lakshmi Devi's place is the Lord's chest in the Vakshasthala. That's why his name is Nivasaha. So he's not just Nivasaha for Lakshmi Devi, but he is Nivasaha for everyone, each one of us. Many people, they say this is Golok Nivasaha, or there is Krishna Nivasaha, there is Govinda Nivasa, Gopal Nivasa. They keep name placed like that. Prabhupada Nivasaha. Many people keep like that names for their homes and all this. Nivasaha means it's a shelter. The Supreme Lord is the supreme shelter. So Krishna is saying, I am the supreme shelter. I am Nivasa. I am the abode of everyone. So, and the Lord's abode is so wonderful that once you go to that abode, there is no return back. There is no coming back from the Lord's abode. Isn't it so beautiful? Just see. So he's Nivasa. He's Sharanam. Sharanam means he is ultimate uh, place where we can actually take shelter of. Sharanam, we have to surrender to that person, the Supreme Lord. When we take surrenderance to that Supreme Lord, then there is freedom from fear. See, right now, wherever we have taken shelter as of now, either it can be our parents, either it can be our school teachers, or we have taken shelter of the government, we have taken shelter of friends and relatives, we have taken shelter of our own children, grandchildren. We try to take shelter of so many people, but still we are not free from the fear. We don't have the freedom from fear. So Krishna is saying, I'm Sharanam. If you actually take shelter, my shelter, then first thing that happens to all of us is we will become free from fear. Because that is the cooling effect that we get under his lotus feet. When we actually take shelter of the Lord, we become peaceful. We don't get disturbed because we have taken the shelter of the Supreme Person. Supreme. The word supreme means you can imagine, completely everything is in his control, and we have taken shelter of that person. He is completely one on whom we can be dependent on, and he takes care of us. Actually, without knowing him properly, already he's taking care of us, isn't it? He's giving us food, he's giving us air to breathe, he's giving us proper oxygen, he's giving us this body itself, which is so sophisticated body. He's giving everything for our sustenance right now. Without we knowing, he's already giving us so many things, isn't it? Then he's saying Surat. Why is he giving all these things? Why is he Nivasa abode and everything? Because he's a Surat. Surat means Suhurat means he's a friend, ultimate well-wishing friend. We don't have well-wishing friends in our life. Very few, one or two, but again, time comes and time is very powerful. It takes away all our good friends from our life. But what remains is only we. Most of the time we feel lonely because we don't have proper Surat, well-wishing friends. So Krishna is saying, I am your well-wishing friend. I am always there with you. Life after life is there as Paramatma, continuing the journey with us. Always he's following us. He's constantly following us. These people say, all this Vodafone and all these people, oh, wherever you go, we will follow you. The network will follow you. Our network will follow you. All stupidity. You just go in one of the jungles and all network is gone. They cannot follow you. That network will not, Vodafone network will not follow you. But Paramatma, whether you go to a jungle or you go under the ocean or you go to the Patala also, Lord's network will follow. What forget about Lord's network? Lord himself will follow us. Why? Because he is Surat. He is the friend of all of us. Isn't it? Prabhavaha. Prabhavaha means that creative force is called Prabhavaha. Creative force. Lord creates so many things. The creative potency that we have within us, Prabhavaha means creation. He's creating so many adbhut things, all extraordinary things are being created in the nature. And all these things we see, it's all because Prabhavaha, he's having the creative force. Pralayaha, destructive force also is him. Everything is at one time will be destroyed in this material world. This material world means there is creation, destruction. So Pralaya also is me. Krishna is saying, I am the creative force, I am the destructive force also. Sthanam, Sthanam means that which is constantly there. I mean, Sthanam means where he's never, we actually, the Lord is saying that I am, uh, even before that, actually, let me explain this. There is something very interesting. Krishna is saying that I am, yeah, so Prabhupada is also saying here, 18th verse, right? That is 18th verse. Let me quickly make you understand. Yeah. So, yeah, 18th verse it is. In that, Prabhupada is saying, Sthanam is ground. Ground means basically he's making things stable. He sustains. Sthanam means basically he sustains everything. So he's the sustainer of everything. Everything is resting in him. So nothing is independently acting. So sthana means he is the basis of everything. It's like a foundation for everything. So he sthana means he's the foundation for all that we see and experience in this world. Right? So that is what is sthanam. And then nidhanam. Nidhanam means again a resting place. Is ground, a foundation, resting place. Nidhanam, one who takes nidhanam, nidhanam means that which is everything is resting upon him. For example, you know, we this body is made up of five elements. This body we have is made up of five elements. At the point of that, what happens? These five elements will merge into the universal five elements. Panchabhuta, this Panchabhuta, when we die, this earth will merge into the universal earth, air will merge into the universal air, ether will merge into the universal air, ether. Then similarly, the fire will merge into the universal fire. So everything, when we die, this body disintegrates and gets merged into that specific universal element, and then all these five elements together goes into the ahankara tattva in turn slowly, which is again a part of the three modes of material nature, gets merged. Everything becomes three modes will become mahat tattva will become we prakriti will rest into the Lord. That's why it's called resting place. So after pralaya, when pralaya happens, what happens? Everything is disintegrated, and finally everything turns into prakriti. That prakriti resides in the heart. The prakriti is resting into the Lord. See, this is bijam. Again, bijam means a seed. Seed, he's the seed of everything. All that we see is sown by the Lord. He's the bija. It's a tattva jnana. Please understand. Now, bija can become a sprout. A sprout cannot be called as a seed. There is a vikara in that. Vikara means the transformation has happened. That means the seed can become a sprout. Sprout will never become a seed again. So many times people think and argue that if Krishna is the bija, that means this whole creation, he says that, oh, I'm the bija for this whole. That means there is a vikara. That means there is a transformation that happens. That means once Krishna becomes something else, he transforms into something else, he loses his originality because he's a bija, just like a bija. In this, our experience, we see, you put some green gram or any dal or anything like that. You put and, you keep it for sprouting, it will sprout. Once the sprouting is done, the bija is gone. A sprout will never be called as a seed. Even in the words, there is a change. So many times people will say, when Krishna is saying bijam, I am a bija, that means when he sprouts into this whole creation, that means his originality is gone. That's why Krishna is saying bijam avyayam. Avyayam means actually he's imperishable. Imperishable means there is no change. So these are different things that we have to understand. So this is just the previous verse that we had discussed. It was a little bit of recap, but in this, so many tattvas are in there. All these are different names of the Lord. You have to understand these are all different names of the Lord. So now let's chant the next verse, 19th verse. Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. So let me go to the next verse. Yes. I hope it is visible to you. So let's chant verse number 19. Tapamyaham aham varsham
तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षम्
निगृणामि उत्सृजामि च
निगृह्णामि उत्तर्जामि च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
यद्दसच्चाहमर्जुन
सत्तशचाम अर्जुन
Again, तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षम्
तपाम्यहम् अहं वर्षम्
निगृणामि उत्सृजामि च
निगृह्णामि उत्तर्जामि च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
यद्दसच्चाहमर्जुन.
सत्तसच्चा अर्जुन.
Wonderful. So please read the translation.
O Arjuna, I give heat, and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality, and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So wonderful. You just see again, Krishna is further explaining some of his very important uh, his qualities again. It's an expansion of the his own qualities that he's explaining to all of us here. And just by understanding some of these qualities gives pleasure to the Lord. So, this is very interesting to know, and we should understand that the Lord enjoys when we discuss the different qualities of the Lord. Just like a guru, when he teaches his disciples so many new things and he brings in a lot of talent into a specific disciple. So, when a teacher or a coach, when he trains his students, and the students they learn a specific talent, and when they go out and they perform wonderfully, actually the student is winning, but the joy experienced by the teacher is unbound because, oh, see, my disciple, my student has done so wonderful. So whenever there is this kind of exhibition by the students, then the teacher also feels very proud, isn't it? So why? Because the teacher had a certain quality, and when that quality is being manifest in the students wonderfully, the teacher becomes very joyful. So similarly, when we discuss these different qualities of the Lord, and when we understand these qualities of the Lord is becoming very happy because, oh, at least these devotees, they're trying to understand my qualities. We may not become perfect immediately, but at least our journey to understand the wonderful qualities has begun. So just by this, the Lord is very happy. So when we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, we should know one thing for sure, that Krishna is very happy. Already he is very happy because we are doing a wonderful act of understanding his qualities. So here Krishna is saying tapamyaham. So let's understand this very beautifully. Krishna is saying tapamyaham, I am the heat. So what does it mean? I am a heat. Tapamyaham, aham tapa. See, all that heat we receive today is from the Surya Dev, that is the sun, isn't it? In the Surya, there is so much of heat, and all that heat we receive is actually just enough for the earthly beings to survive. It is not more, it is not less. That exact management of temperature, who is doing it? So when we see, look around, all of us, when we look around the nature, we should get this question: who is in control? How is this temperature controlled? Where are the controls for this? And right amount of light, right amount of heat. How is it all happening? The Surya is so powerful and emanating so much light and heat, but we are getting exactly that much, which is good enough for us to survive. Now, where are the controls? Extremely important. See, many times in the olden days, we used to have this, uh, bulbs, tungsten bulbs, and a little bit more power. They used to have wattages. You give a little bit more power to it, the filament will go. Tux, it will go and it's gone forever. The filament bulb, so many bulbs used to go like that, isn't it? A small tungsten bulb, a little bit more power, and it burns out. That's it. But here, you just see how perfectly the heat and light, what amount of energy has to be received by Earth is being received perfectly. Where is the control? Many times, to protect our electrical or electronic devices, we have these stabilizers. We in the fridges, for the fridges at home, we used to have the stabilizers. What will the stabilizer do? The stabilizer will exactly send that much amount of voltage and current that is required by the fridge, not more, not less. And sometimes we also have some fuse in some electrical equipment, because if there is a surge of electrical power, then the device will not have any problem, because there is a fuse. That fuse will burn out. Nothing will. You just have to change the fuse and everything. So we have made certain controls, right? Now these days, with all these LED lights coming up, we can control the amount of luminosity that it gives, isn't it? A lot of controls man has made. But if we can make these amount of controls in a small bulb, then where is the control for such a big sun, that which is giving so much of light? There must be some control. That's why Krishna is saying tapamyaham. We may just see that heat and feel that heat, but who is controlling that heat? Aham. Krishna is saying, I am that. So when we see, look at the sun, we should understand all these things. That's why he's also called as, Surya Narayana. Actually, there are Dwadasha Adityas. We had been to that Dwadasha where the Sanatan Goswami temple was there, Madan Mohan temple. We saw that Dwadasha Aditya Tila, where all the 12 Adityas, they are very powerful beings who actually emanate light. All the Adityas were in that Dwadasha Aditya. There is one Aditya called Vishnu. That Vishnu Aditya is none other than Lord Himself. So he is the primary Aditya, the Vishnu Aditya. He is the Surya Narayana actually. He himself is the Surya Narayana. So this all these different Adityas, Dwadasha Adityas, are under the control of the Supreme Lord. Now, we see during the Uttarayana, when the Sankarmana happens, Sankarmana, what happens? The Surya is moving towards the northern side, northern hemisphere. So when the Surya Narayan is moving, Uttarayana we call, right? So there are this seven horses which are riding the Surya Devs. So the Surya Dev is there, but within the Surya Dev, there is, in the heart of Surya Dev, there is the Surya Narayana. So why all these things happening? Because ultimately I am tapamyaham. I give that heat and light. Krishna is saying. See, so much of understanding is there in just one word. If small heat and light control, we have to many times. Vinodji also, since he's into MEP, he is into HVAC, HVAC. He knows his temperature controls so complicated. Some buildings are built in such a way they are so complicated. There are so many things which it's mind-boggling. Just to make a certain room and give it a proper temperature, they have to work so hard day in and day out, isn't it? Now imagine how perfectly the HVAC controls are working here in the whole universe, in this whole planet. Exactly this month of October, November, slowly it cools down. Again, the heat will increase, heat decrease. Temperatures are changing perfectly. All this management is happening, and people say that, oh, it's all automatic. It's happening through nature. And in nature means there should be controls. But who is controlling? Krishna is saying, tapamyaham. See, aham varsham. I'm not just the heat. I'm aham varsham. Aham varsham means I'm also the one who gives the rain. Varsham nigranami utrajami cha. Varsham nigranami. Varsham nigranami means what? He actually uh, he withholds. Nigranami means he withholds that cloud. Sometimes I have told this earlier also that how Krishna, we see the clouds are coming. You know, it comes over Mumbai or it comes over Bangalore or Pune, wherever. Clouds is fully cloudy, but it will not rain. Why? Clouds are there, heavy clouds, dark clouds, but it will not rain. Why? Nigranami. So when you see the black mega, that is the cloud, and it is not raining, then you should remember this verse. Oh, Krishna, see the clouds are there, but Nigranami, it is not raining here. Why? Because the cloud is not supposed to shower here. It is going to somewhere Kolhapur or somewhere. The cloud is not meant for Pune or Mumbai. The cloud is meant to go to Kolhapur. So it is passing through that place, but it will go and shower in Kolhapur somewhere. So everything is designated. Don't simply think that clouds are coming and oh, it's going to rain, rain. You'll be thinking it is going to rain, but it will not rain because it will go somewhere else. Why it is going somewhere else? Because the water which is collected or the water which is being showered by the cloud is the water of that particular pond, lake, river from where it is being collected. Everything is so minute. Please understand, Emuna water and taste is different. You've seen Emuna color, we didn't really thoroughly see actually, but if you see Kalindi, she's called Kalindi Yamuna because she's black in color. Her waters are blackish in color. Ganga water is very different and the taste is different. Yamuna, Kaveri, all these waters have different taste and they have different colors also. All this differentiation is happening, but you see what's happening? All of them they go and get merged in the ocean. When they merge in the ocean, it's not that everything becomes one. Not that all the rivers, all they go and merge and become one. No, even when they merge in the ocean, they maintain their individuality. That is why our philosophy is Dvaita philosophy. Expansion of that philosophy is what? Dvaita philosophy is Bheda Abheda. Simultaneous abheda and bheda is there. So there is bheda. Even when the water goes and merges in the ocean, there is differentiation. The individuality of Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri is maintained. And then when evaporation happens, that evaporated water is collected by the cloud, and that same water which was actually coming from Ganga goes back to Yamuna, goes back to Kaveri and showers there only. If there is some lake in your city, that water which is evaporated actually comes back again. The same water droplets will come back again. So much of control is there. Can you imagine? It is bewildering. Every drop of water is counted and maintained like this. That is the control of the Lord. We cannot even fathom these things. Scientists will go mad just by understanding all these things. They cannot even perceive these things. They can only account to one thing, that every water is recycled. Today, scientists say, there was a documentary also I had seen earlier in YouTube or somewhere. Every water, including the garbage water, every water is recycled, gets purified naturally in the nature. That much they know. But they don't know that the water taken from a specific pond, our specific lake, goes back to the same lake. So nigranami, Krishna is saying nigranami means I withhold. I will not rain in a particular place because the cloud is meant for something else. Utsarjami, send forth. So I control the clouds in some places and I also send Utsarjami. I send those clouds on a specific places. Varsha will happen only there, not anywhere else. Isn't it? So where is the control? Sometimes, just 10 meters when we are especially traveling on a road, just 100 meters away there was no rain. But when I go a little ahead, there is rain. Suddenly the rain will come. The rain is falling exactly in that place, not here. How? Who is controlling all these things? So it's not happening automatically. It's not happening automatically. It's not happening randomly. There is control. Utsrajami, nigranami, utsrajami cha. So see, tapamyaham, varsham, nigranami, utsrajami. Then he's also saying amritam chaiva. He's also saying amritam. What is amritam? Amritam. Amrit means that which gives immortality. Amritam means that which gives life. It always gives life. Amritam, right? It will Amrita means always lively, just like that one drop of nectar that fell onto that tree where we had been to Kaliyadaha. In Kaliyadaha, Krishna could climb on that particular tree because one drop of Amrita had fallen there because Garuda was carrying and one drop fell into it. And all other trees were destroyed because of Kaliya, but this one tree was live. Why? It was alive because of that Amrita. That Amrita, that life is there because I am that life. I am Amrita. And Amrita also means Krishna gives Amrita life to our senses. He sits in, he's Rishikesha. He's Rishikesha. He sits in our senses. Five senses have specific things, right? Their functioning is very specific. Eyes are seeing. What? Oh my God. Just understand and please look into this and contemplate a little bit. We have this beautiful, wonderful eyes through which we can see the world. These eyes are getting life because of Krishna. Amrita, he's because Amrita. He is Amrita for the eyes. He's Amrita for the ears. If he's not Amrita, then how can we give life? We are not eating and giving life. It is Krishna who is giving life to the senses. That's why he's called Amrita. Please understand. Otherwise, the on his own, the eyes, the ears, the nose, they cannot do their functions without Krishna. Rishikesha is theirs. He's Amrita. He is giving life to these senses. Because he gives life to the senses, we are able to perceive this world. We are able to understand this world. And we are able to understand Krishna's words through these senses. Just understand how Krishna is so merciful to make us understand about the Bhagavad Gita, about the Shastras. He has given us all these different senses so that we perceive Him. He gives life to the senses so that we perceive Him. But what we do, we use these senses for all nonsensical things. Instead of seeing the deity of Krishna, we start watching some web series. Instead of listening to Krishna Katha, we listen to all the mundane talks, the gossip that is going on. Instead of wonderfully tasting the prasadam, we eat all the bhoga, nonsensical things, untasty, unhealthy things. Isn't it? So Krishna is actually thinking that these people will use, I'm giving life to the senses, they will use it back in my service and to understand me, but we are exactly doing the opposite. So he gives life, Amrita. Then Mrityusha. Mrityu means he's also saying that I am going to destroy everything. That is, one is Pralaya. In the previous verse, he said Pralaya. Pralaya means at Pralaya, when Pralaya happens, death is automatic. Everyone has to die during Pralaya, Pralaya Kala. Everyone will die for sure. But before that Pralaya happens, he's also telling that I am Mrityu. You know, we all intermittently die, right? 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, but we still have to die. That Mrityu is also me. Krishna is saying, I am Mrityu. See, so many times people say, Prabhuji, just now Krishna said Amritam, he is life. Now, immediately, next word is saying, I am Mrityu also. What is this? I was so happy that he is telling that I give life, he is Amrita, and now he's also telling I am Mrityu. It's such a contradictory thing. Why Krishna is so bad now? Many people say, no, just when the child is born, Navashishu, just born out of the womb, immediately it dies. Oh, everybody cries and oh, kitna anyay ho gaya inke saath. You know, so bad thing has happened. Such a newborn baby and it's gone. A new Yauvana, youthful boy or a girl, you know, just about to get married and they dies due to some accident. Takse, mrityu, they immediately get, and so much pain is there for the parents and all the relatives. You know, oh, what a wrong thing the Lord has done. We say like that, the wrong thing the Lord has done. Just see. We blame the Lord. But it is only the spiritualist, one who has the Atma Jnana, they can understand that actually, if this person, if this particular soul would have not got Mrityu, he could have gotten into something more dangerous. What is that more dangerous? Our own bad karma. Many times, our own bad karma or a certain behavior, a certain habit puts us into a bigger problem than Mrityu, and through which we have to suffer a lot. That's why Krishna, he advances the Mrityu. He becomes Mrityu and immediately, he gives them the death so that they don't commit more mistakes. Many times, the king also, right? He gives danda, he gives punishment so that a murderer has to be punished. If he is not punished, then what will happen? He will commit more mistakes and he will suffer in hell. So that's why in the olden days, when somebody does a grievous, very grave mistake, he's been given punishment accordingly. Krishna is dando. He's called dando, means he's a punishment. He comes in the form of a punishment. Dandanayaka is Yamaraj. Dandanayaka. Now, Dandanayaka, what he does, Yamaraja, what is he doing? Constantly punishing. He is boiling somebody in hot oil. This is what is happening in hell. If you go in hell, you will see all these wonderful pictures. Horrible pictures, actually, not wonderful. Somebody is being boiled in the hot oil. Somebody is being pierced by some sharp rod in his body. Somebody, we see that is being pecked by eagles and vultures, and they are plucking out all our bodily parts. Somebody is being made walk on hot copper plates. These are all the punishment that Dandanayaka is giving. This Dandanayaka Yamraja, he is actually punishing, but that itself is a puja of the Lord that he is doing, because he's been assigned to do that. His service, his duty is that to give punishment. If a judge in a court gives punishment to somebody, and then we go and say on a humanitarian basis, oh no, no, now the judge has to be punished because he's punishing this culprit and he's giving him life sentence, death penalty. Now this judge also has to be punished and he has to be given death penalty. Hey, what kind of a system is that? We cannot punish the judge for punishing someone else, especially the culprit, right? We don't do that because the system is like that. Mrityuhu. Krishna says, I am Mrityuhu. I punish people sometime for their own benefit. That's why death comes sometimes, because for our own benefit. And ultimately, what is death? Death is only to the body, no? Sometimes the body is so weak, pale, and it's going to get destroyed anyhow. The soul is suffering, is not able to enjoy properly even this material world. Sometimes death is good, the death takes away this body, and Krishna will give a new body according to your karma. Fresh body will come. You'll get a new fresh body. How long will you cry with this old torn clothes? Anybody likes to be having the old clothes, torn clothes? Nobody likes to have. Everybody wants to have fresh clothes. So similarly, Krishna says, okay, what is this old cloth you're wearing? Give mrityu, that's it, and give a next fresh body again. So we should not be worried about mrityu, right? So amritam chaiva mrityuscha. I am death. I actually punish. So that's a benediction actually. Many times that's benediction. We don't see all these things. When we see only portion of our life or somebody's life. Krishna sees a bigger picture of the soul. मृत्यु के बाद भी इसको क्या मिल सकता है? What is the best thing for this particular soul? That Krishna knows the best. So Sat asat chaham Arjuna. Sat asat. Sat means sat. Sat means reality or spirit, and asat means that which is matter. Sat also means guna, wonderful qualities. Asat, sat, asat, when they are used together, although contradictory, but it is when they are used together, they give a different meaning. In the different koshas, they give different meaning. Sat, asat also means, sat means gunas, ultimate, wonderful qualities the Lord has. And asat means not that he doesn't have qualities. Asat means nobody else has qualities like the Lord. Sat means wonderful qualities Krishna has, amazing qualities he has. Asat means nobody else has qualities like him. Asat doesn't mean that he doesn't have qualities, but nobody else has qualities like him. That is the meaning of Asat. Chaham Arjuna. See, Krishna is explaining so many beautiful things, and this is all Upanishad words. If you understand all these things, another aspect from the Upanishads perspective, you will get amazing perspective because these expansions of these words are there in the Upanishads. So Krishna is saying Amritam, Chaiva, Mrityuscha, Sat Asat Chaham Arjuna. So many beautiful things here. It's never ending. We can just go on and on. Okay. So now let us chant the next verse. Very beautiful. Actually, let's chant. Yeah, 2021. Together we will chant. So, Dave, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse. This is also very interesting. Verse number 20. Traividyamam somapaputta papa
त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापूतपापा
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्.
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्
Once again, त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापूतपापा
त्रैविद्यमां सोमपापूतपापा
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्.
अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeing the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where, where they enjoy godly delights. Hare Krishna.
One. Please read the next one also. Let's chant the next verse also.
Yes.
21. तेतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रप्ययन् प्रपन्ना
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
Once again, तेतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. And thus those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only. Prabhuji, I can't.
Yeah, it is repeated birth and death. Achieve only repeated birth and death. Oh my God. Just see, it is very important to understand here. Krishna is giving a different and very, special understanding here now. Traividya mam somapa puta papa jagnair ishtva swargatim prarthayante. So there are this Trividya, three Vedas basically. What are the three Vedas? They Rig, Sama, Yajurveda. Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda are prominent. Atharva Veda was later expanded by Vedavyasa, but actually three Vedas. First is only Samaveda, but then there was expansion, then three Vedas, then the fourth Veda came, Atharva Veda, Atharvana Veda. So three Vedas, these three Vedas are having unlimited ways of performing worship to so many different personalities in this whole universe. If you open the Vedas, Yagner Ishtva Swargatim Prarthayante. Amazing, unlimited types of worships are there. Indra, Chandra, Surya, this Devi, that Devi. Oh, there is unlimited things mentioned in the Vedas, and it's extremely difficult for everyone to follow all the things. So there are some people who have some specific interests, so they follow a specific part of the Vedas, a specific yagna they perform to please a specific devata, and they only go to that particular devata. Swargalokam. See, te punyam asadya surendra lokam. Surendra means it is the Devadi Deva, the king of all the devas, that is Surendra, that is Indradev. Surendra Lokam. So, if you actually worship Indra, then you can go to the heavenly planets. Asnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan. And what happens there? If you go to all these different heavenly planets, Divideva Bhogan, you will get unlimited, amazing sense enjoyments. Just by following the Vedas properly, understanding the properly, and practicing the Vedas properly, the Vedas are guaranteeing all of us heavenly planets where you can Divideva Bhogan. Amazing enjoyment you can get there in the heavenly planets. When you have a lot of punya, what is the currency that you need to get? The currency that you need is punya. Punya. Te punyam asadhya surendra lokam. When you acquire a lot of punya, you can go there. How you acquire the punya? By understanding the Vedas and performing the yagnas mentioned in the Vedas, we will get a lot of punya. That punya will help you to go to surendra lokam. Wow. Amazing things are there. Divideva Bhogan. Go to the heavenly planets and enjoy unlimited things. I have told you before also, these devatas, no, they don't have these ordinary bodies, like us. Our bodies sweat and, we get all those sweat and we get that odor, bad odor, all those things. It's all Padmagandha bodies. The devatas have the Padmagandha bodies. Padmagandha bodies means they don't need any deodorants or perfumes or anything like that. The body itself is Padmagandha. It's very special fragrant bodies they have. They eat and they don't have to actually go to the toilets. Everything is evaporated. All amazing things are there. There are parks and there are amazing water bodies. There are lakes. There are, just like we have this entertainment parks. They have amazing different entertainment parks there, all natural. Just it's amazing. Just we cannot Nandana. We have heard about that Nandanavana, right? Garden, the heavenly garden. Hey, it's amazing. It's we cannot even imagine amazing fruits and amazing flowers, amazing fragrance, and all people around you are beautiful people. Everything is so nice, and the music that is being played, it's all big party there. Heavenly planets are like that. Divideva Bhogan, the kind of enjoyment that you get is huge, amazing. So, in this connection, Krishna is then saying that just, oh Arjuna, although you have all these things, immediately Krishna is saying in the next verse also that Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punne martyalokam vishanti. So, Krishna is saying that although you may go there, but when your punya, when your currency is over, you have to come back. Just like in your mobile phone, you recharge. You recharge for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and accordingly you will get that facility for that particular time period, right? But moment your currency is over, then you need to come back. I mean, you have to recharge it again. Otherwise your signal will be lost and you will not be able to communicate. You will not be able to enjoy your mobile phone after the recharge is over, isn't it? So similarly, when you go there, you get recharged with lot of punya. You go to the heavenly planets and you start enjoying. Oh, wonderful, very nice. And there also there are different types of plans. Some plans and some things will take a lot of consume a lot of punya. For example, I'll give you, when you go to some entertainment parks, there may be some fun world or something like that in Mumbai, and sometimes some water park or anything like that. When you go, you will have, just to enter there, that particular fun world or something, you will have to pay something, some ticket you have to buy. But when you go inside, that doesn't mean that you can actually enjoy everything. There are different joy rides there. There is some water ride or some big giant wheel is there. For everything individually you have to pay. So if you want to enjoy something, then you have to actually shell out some money from your pocket and enjoy the different rides, isn't it? So if here in this world only this arrangement is there, similarly in this material, in this heavenly planets also, you have acquired a lot of punya. Yes, you have got enough currency now. You have entered also, but after entering, there are different things there to enjoy. So when you enjoy different things there, you have to shell out all your punya. Tuck, 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 different types of joyride and different types of enjoyment will take away a lot of your punya. That's why Krishna is saying, Shine punye martya lokam vishanti. The more you try to enjoy there, the more punya will be lost. And the more punya lost, exhausted, the sooner you will come back to martya lokam vishanti. See, all these things are there. It's not so easy. So why this Krishna is saying this? There are many Trivedis. Trivedis are who study the Vedas. They understand the Vedas. They do a lot of tapasya. And after all that tapasya, they get a lot of punya. They perform yagnas. These Trivedis. The result of these people following the Vedas is different from the result of the Bhagavatas. The result that the Trivedis they get and the result that the Bhagavatas get is totally different. This is what Krishna is trying to tell here. Oh Arjuna, there are people who follow the Vedas, the Trivedis. There are people, Bhagavatas, who also follow the Vedas, but the result is different. So Krishna is actually differentiating this now, differentiating between the Trivedis and the Bhagavatas, the pure devotees. So Trivedis, when they follow, they have some desire for enjoyment. There are many people. All people go to astrologers. Why they want to go to astrologers? Because they want to understand what is good for them. Astrology is a part of the Veda, isn't it? So when they go to the astrologers, they understand certain things and they want to know, how can I understand? How can I enjoy this world better? How can I acquire more punya? All these, then the astrologer will say, do this puja, this yagna, that yagna, you have to offer something. All that is there in the Vedas. But people strictly follow that also. They want to specifically do puja for Shani Devata, specifically for the Durga Puja, Shiva. All these different Devatas are there. If you want to go to specific Devata, different types of enjoyments, you have to specifically do that kind of a karya karma. You will get that type of punya, currency, and you will be able to go there. This kind of arrangement is there. But that result is different from the result that the Bhagavatas get. Completely different. The Bhagavatas will get different altogether. That is explained in the next verse, 22nd verse. But here Krishna is saying that how these people, Shine Punne, to understand this, there is a very, very beautiful story of Yayati. In the Mahabharata, there is a very nice story of Yayati. This Yayati was a king, a very great king who had married the daughter of Shukracharya, Devyani. And of course, he had another wife also, Sharmishta. So Devyani and Sharmishta both were rivals. And Yayati was a very powerful king, and he's having, he had some sons also, Turvasu, Puru, all these sons were there, some 4, 5, 6, some 5 children were there. Yadu also, I think, one of them. And that's why Yadukula and all that comes. So, so this king, Yayati, had done a lot of yagna following the Vedas. He is one of the Trivedi you can consider. He had perfectly followed all that was there in the Vedas, performed many, 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 many yagnas. In this life itself, he had ruled so many years, and enjoyed. And after all that, she actually was promoted to the Indraloka, Surendra Lokam. He was promoted to Surendra Loka. And there also in the Surendra Loka, in Indraloka, in heavenly planets, she stayed for many, many years. And then once Indra called him and asked him just to inquire, "Oh, Yayati, see, you have seen the administration in the Bhuloka and you have seen the administration in the Swargaloka also. And you tell me which is the better one." And Yayati had actually seen a lot of things in the heaven, lot of things. The people there, the kind of enjoyment there, everything he had seen. But then, what did he say? This uh, Yayati, he tells out of pride to Indra, actually, this administration in heaven is nothing compared to my administration in Bhuloka. Out of that pride, no, he says, actually, his punya was about to get over. Almost over. He was anyway supposed to come down to the earthly planets. But there should be some reason, no, for him to come. So that's why Indra was questioning him. So now, after this, when he told that actually my administration was amazing, Indra says, "All right, now you turn your head downwards and your leg upwards, start moving down." That's it. So he started going down. He started coming. When he started falling down, his grandchildren, great grandchildren were there on the planet. So they saw him coming and they actually started praying. And Yayati, when he was falling down, because of their prayers, their grandchildren, great grandchildren, Yayati was somehow protected. And then Yayati gives very beautiful instructions to all his great grandchildren. It's very amazing instruction that we need to understand. Yayati explains the uh, all this temporary enjoyment that we get in the heavenly planets. That's exactly what Krishna is saying. Shine, Punye, Martyalokam, Vishanti. In this particular verse, why this happened, because Krishna is explaining, is because these are the examples. He is a perfect drishtanta for us. Yayati is a perfect example for this particular verse. Shine, Punye, Martyalokam, Vishanti. So, Yayati explains that how this Trivedis, they have performed amazing yagnas as per the Vedas, but the Bhagavatas get a different result. But these Trivedis, they get a different result altogether. So they may be promoted to the heavenly planets because of lot of punya they have acquired. Amazing punya they have acquired. This punya currency is amazing. So, but when the chine punya, when that actually is china, that punya is gone, they have to come back. So that explanation is given by Yayati. So Yayati is explaining in one sense that how this heavenly tour is like a package tour. You know, you go to, we have seen a lot of package tour. In a package tour, you get certain facilities to stay, you get certain proper food to eat and all these things, right? So this people, Trivedis, when they perform these yagnas as per the Vedas, they get enough money and they get this package tour to heavenly planets. But it's not that the package tour is lifelong. It has to end someday. So similarly, all these people who actually are promoted, these Trivedis especially, when they acquire knowledge and they perform yagna, they go to these heavenly planets, that package tour will come back. You know, it'll all get over one day and they have to come back. Shine punyam marte lokam vishanti. This has to be understood. So Yayati is explaining the temporary nature of this. And just like when the package tour ends, you know, many people ask about the feedback. Oh, how was this tour? How was everything? Oh, what did you like? What did you not like? All these feedback they get. Similarly, Indra was also asking Yayati. He was asking, okay, you have seen the administration in heavenly planets and you have seen the administration in earthly planets also. Now give me your feedback. Indra is asking the feedback. Just see exactly what people are doing right now. Indra was doing there, so that you know they get reviews and all those things. So Yati is explaining that how temporary this is. This whole nature of this whole going to the heavenly planets is so temporary. People are so mad after this. People are becoming terrorists because of this. You know, all these people who become terrorists, what are they? What are they promised? Oh, you go and kill these people. Of course, they are not going to go heavens by killing people. But you see, They want to go to heaven because they want to enjoy in the heaven. That's why the terrorists are thinking, right? Oh, if I kill so many people, I'll get amazing, stay there. I'll get facilities there. I'll get a lot of apsaras there. All these things they talk about, and I will enjoy with them. All these things they have in the mind, and they become terrorists. Of course, they are going to go to hell for doing all these nonsensical things. They cannot go to heaven by doing all this killing people. If they want to go to heaven, they have to perform yajna as per the Trivedas, isn't it? How mad people are. They want to enjoy, they don't even follow Vedas these days. Many people just by Vedas, oh, what is this Veda? These are all nonsensical things. They think like that, but it is not like that. People go to that extreme of killing people just to enjoy that kind of enjoyment, but they don't know and they don't understand that even that is temporary. Our Vedas are telling, our Shastra, Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, even if you go there, it's temporary. Even heaven is temporary. Shine punne martyalokam vishanti. So these things we should thoroughly understand. We should not get bewildered by these different types of pujas, yagnas, and all these things. Simply waste of time. Shama eva hi kevalam. Never, never go into all these kind of things. So Yayati is explaining that I have experienced that heavenly loka, and actually there is nothing there. See, I have been thrown down now. Moment my punya was over, I am back to this world again. So you people don't become Trivedis, you become Bhagavatas. So when we are understanding the Bhagavad Gita, our intention is to become a Bhagavata, a pure devotee. So now, when we are becoming pure devotees, what is that we are supposed to do is perform devotional service. Understand Bhagavad Gita from the Bhagavata perspective. So that is where exclusive devotion to Krishna comes in. Exclusiveness of that Krishna supremacy comes in. Otherwise, Trivedis they get confused. Very difficult. They get confused. They worship something and they come back. This up and down continues for them. Going up and down is not a good thing. We have to exit this material world. Exiting this material world is not so easy. Cracking this fence that we have in this material world, this universe has a fence of different elements, ahankara being the most strongest. It's not so easy. So breaking our ahankara is what Krishna teaches us through Bhagavad Gita. Ahankara means the false ego. Then slowly we'll understand. Ahankara is there. Today, everybody is thinking that I can do many things. Oh, there is a disease, I'll find a medicine for it. I'll find a vaccination. Oh, the crops are taking 6 months, I will inject something. In 3 months only, the crops will come. I have the power. We have the power. Krishna is saying, all no power, nothing. I am Mrityu. He already told, right? I am Mrityu. You challenge Mrityu. Anyone can change Mrityu. We cannot. That's why Krishna is saying, I am Mrityu. You cannot become Mrityu. You cannot change or transform Mrityu. Here he's saying, even if you go there down, there is also Mrityu there. You have to come down. That is also temporary. You have to come back here. So Yayati, with all his realization, is explaining to all his grandchildren and great grandchildren, it's going to be tough. Just don't go there. Waste your time. Become a Bhagavata. And then that is what Krishna is further explaining in the next verse, in the 22nd verse, what are the Bhagavatas doing? What the result the Bhagavatas get? That is explained in the next verse. So Vinodji, you can unmute yourself. Let's try to chant the next verse. That is 22nd verse. Very, very important verse. And I think everyone should memorize this. It's very special words, especially for the devotees. Okay? So, Vinodji, this is 22nd verse. Ananyas chintayanto mam
अनन्या चिन्तवन्तो माम्
ye jana paryupasate
ये जना पर्युपासते
tesham nityabhiyuktanam
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
yogakshemam vahamyaham.
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
Wonderful. Let's do this once again. Ananyas chintayanto mam
अनन्या चिन्तयशो माम्
ye jana paryupasate
ये जना पर्युपासते
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
Wonderful, very nice. So please read the translation.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack. I preserve what they have. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. Hare Krishna. So, this is a very special verse. It's amazing verse. See, we can't expect more from Krishna. I mean, this is the mercy that Krishna is saying here. Ananyas chintayanto ma. Those who are constantly, ananya means exclusive devotion unto me. When they have ejana paryupasate, when they are doing like this, worshipping me exclusively, tesham nityabhiyuktana, I will always preserve what they have and I will provide what they lack. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. So this is very special. So, Lord, what more do we want? Here, anytime when you want to travel, or even if you want to go somewhere, you want to accept something or reject something, whatever, there are certain things that we want to acquire. You want to go to hospital, they ask insurance. Where's your insurance? First thing they ask you, okay, well, do you have any insurance? Your vehicle insurance, your health insurance, your life insurance, whatever. So many people will ask you insurance. Krishna is not asking any of those. He's not asking any insurance. He's only saying anybody who's worshipping me exclusively. That's the only thing that I want. We have understood now in the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan Dham, we were discussing how Krishna wants to give himself to everyone. He, especially to his devotees, he gives himself to everyone. What is a greater insurance than Krishna himself? If we have Krishna, then that's the greatest insurance that we can have. All these things are simply nimitta. Simply, oh, this insurance will help me, that insurance. Simply for your karma, some nimittas are there, that's it. But ultimate insurance is Krishna. Yogakshemam vahamyam. See, Krishna is promising that world which is not the world of the Trivedis. Trivedis will get only Swargaloka. But the Bhagavatas, who are exclusively following the Vedas, but for pleasing the Lord, not for their own sense gratification, not to acquire punya, but for the pleasure of the Lord, they follow the Vedas. They are the Bhagavatas. Krishna is telling, I give them the world from where they cannot come back. They will not come back. That is the spiritual world. That is Golokadham. That is where we are supposed to go, our home. That is our true, real home. That spiritual world. Yes, I want to be with Krishna. That my ultimate eternal family that we have in Goloka Vrindavan is my family, my abode, where I'm supposed to be, where I'm right now struggling in this material world. Let me go to that material world. Krishna is promising that world to us. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. When he's promising that supreme, amazing, supreme abode, that is the Goloka Dham, that is the spiritual world, doesn't mean that he will not give you anything here. He's already providing even without your asking. We are not even asking for our poshana, everything. Krishna is saying he's automatically, palana poshana is already been taken care. Even the most sinful whom we apparently see is suffering, he's begging on the streets, he's suffering from some disease. We see all these people suffering. But even to those suffering people, Krishna gives a little bit of palana poshana. There also, just see, not that everybody is actually completely fasting all the time. Sometimes we do some vrata, we follow some vrata, or we fast. Sometimes they don't get food to eat, and all these things. Still, even to those people, Krishna will send something to eat. He will, according to their karma, he will release certain things. He'll not give all the pain continuously. He will release, he'll give. All these are different karmic reaction. In every situation, Krishna is maintaining yoga kshemam vahamyam. He is doing even to the normal people. He is doing palana poshana. Now you can imagine for the devotees who are actually wanting to love him, who are trying to understand him, want to do service unto him. Do you think that he will just leave them like that? Full confidence we should have as devotees that Krishna will take care. That is his promise here. Yoga kshemam vahamyam. If you become devotee of Krishna, he will take care of all the necessities of life. You don't have to add or get anything extra because he's saying yoga kshemam vahamyam. That is the full confidence that we need to have in the Lord. Amazing confidence. Krishna's promise it is. And there is no compromise. Krishna never breaks his promises. So that full faith when we have in the Lord and become Bhagavatas, not Trivedis, please understand. We have to become Bhagavatas. To become Bhagavata means to have exclusive devotion unto the Lord. That is what we are supposed to become. Then Yogakshemam Vahamyam. This one very beautiful pastime has happened just in this Kali Yuga. There was a great Acharya. There are two versions of this. There are two versions. There was a Brahmana, there was a teacher who was running a Gurukul. He had students. His wife was there. Very poor, but still he will teach. And day to day, food is not there. He's teaching, but there is no food to eat every day. He used to read Bhagavad Gita continuously, but there is no food. You know, one day the wife told, tomorrow we don't have anything to eat. You need to actually go out and get something. You have to beg or whatever it is, you need to get something. He started reading Bhagavad Gita and everything. And every day the Lord used to get something. They used to get some little bit food. But this day, particular day, they didn't get anything. Teaching is going on. One batch is over, second batch is over, third batch is over, afternoon is over, or 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, nothing is there. Then this person, this teacher thought, oh, what is this? You know, I'm doing so much of devotion and I'm worshipping Krishna, but so much of problem, I'm not even getting food. And then he actually read this words, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. He thought, Lord has given this word. He gives this word that I take care of everybody, especially his devotees. I preserve what they have and I provide what they lack, is what Krishna is saying. But this is not true. He took a red ink and he striked off those lines in the Bhagavad Gita out of disappointment. He goes out to see something, to get something to eat and all those things. And then when he comes out, he sees that his house is filled with foodstuffs. But on the doorstep, there is some blood stains. Then he immediately knocks the door and he asks the wife, what happened? So much food is there. Where did it come from? Then he also asked, what happened? You see, food is here and there are blood stains here on the doorstep. What happened? Tell me everything. How is this all happening? What happened here? She says that that boy had come and you know he came and he provided all these things, and well, he was not able to speak properly because his tongue was cut and blood was oozing out, and all these blood stains have come like that. It has fallen from his tongue. Then this Acharya understand that what a big mistake that I have done. The Lord actually provides everything. Lord himself came to my home. He provided everything that I needed. And the blood stain is just to indicate that I took a red ink and actually I striked off those lines of the Lord. That was his words, Krishna's words. But I actually striked off. Actually, I cut off his tongue, saying that it is false. But to prove that it is not false, Krishna came and all these things has happened. The blood stains were there oozing out from Krishna's tongue. So he realizes his mistakes and he actually begs forgiveness. And this is one version. Other version is Yamunacharya. They say, he was translating Bhagavad Gita. And when this particular verse came, Yogakshemam Vahamyam, that I personally protect everything, I preserve what they have, and I personally provide all that they lack. I personally, look, Yamunacharya thought that why Lord has to personally come. He has so many energies. He has so many other different people to work from for him. Why he has to come personally? It's not personally that he comes. Maybe it is because somebody else comes and does it. So he actually that personally he comes and protects and he provides everything. He took off that. He didn't translate that way and he striked off that. This is not, Lord does not personally come. Why he has to personally come? He's there in Goloka enjoying. Why he has to personally? He's striked off that personally. And he goes out for his snana. And then after snana, when he's gone to snana, here this boy comes, young boy, with lot of foodstuffs and everything. And so much load is there. Wife opens and then sees, hey, what happened? So much you have bought all alone. You're carrying so much load. Yes, see, your husband is there in the market. He gave all this. He dumped. I told him that actually, he can take help of somebody, but he told everything I should only carry. And when I did not agree to carry all these things. He actually, he took a stick and he bit me also. You see, the marks are there behind my back, and he shows that back to the wife, and there are two marks there, red marks. And wife becomes very angry. Oh, my husband can do like this. Let him come today. So this boy, he gives everything that is required and he goes off. And then when the Yamunacharya comes back and he sees that wife is eating. Now, wife will not eat unless the husband has eaten, those days at least. Uchista only she will eat. Only the Lord, after the husband eats, then the wife will eat. The Uchista of the husband. Here already he started. She started. Yamunacharya thinks, oh, what's happened? Something's wrong. So he goes and asks, what happened? You are eating today before me. And he says, how cruel you are. You sent so much load of all these things from the market from one small tender boy. Tender boy, I did not go to the market. I did not send anything. Who told you all these things? No, that boy told. He only told me that you have sent. And not just that, you also bet him. How cruel you can become. Oh, then Yamunacharya says, actually, I have not done this. And the boy who came, then he understand. When she explains about the features and everything about the boy, he understands, oh, it was Krishna himself. And then he realizes why Krishna personally came. I had striked off that personally Lord will protect and he will provide everything that we need. He will personally come. He personally came. And the marks were nothing but, again, the strikes that he had done on the Bhagavad Gita. This happened very recently. So there are two versions of this, but it is the pastime is true. True to explain to us that Lord personally comes. Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. So as devotees, we should have that confidence fully, completely, that we should be dependent on the Lord and never get disturbed by anything. This is how we should understand. Extremely important. Very, very important. Right? So these are few things that we have discussed today. We may have to understand more and explain certain more things on this particular thing. So any questions, anything that we have discussed today? We have any questions, specific questions? Just give me a minute. Yeah. Yes. Any questions?
Yeah, Prabhuji, the verse in which you mentioned, you told about the Bhagavata and the other the
Trivedis.
Trivedi. So I wanted to know what is the difference? The difference is simply bhakti or the
Yes.
goal of the person.
Exactly. See, these people, Trivedis, they're following the Vedas. Following the Vedas means they're following the words of the Lord. But what is their intention? Intention is sense gratification. I want to enjoy. Now, in the Vedas, that's why there are many, many things. That's why Krishna is saying what is in that particular verse. He's saying that, you see, here Krishna is saying in the Swargalokam Vishalam, but Traividya Mam Somapa Puta Papa. Somapa. Somapa means they want to enjoy this Soma juice. That somras they say, no, somras. Somras is these people these days they say it's kind of alcohol. No, it's not like alcohol beverage. Somras is completely different from the modern day whiskey, rum, or whatever these people call it. It is completely different. Soma juice does not intoxicate you and make you mad. Soma juice gives you life, more energetic. It makes you like that. So it gives you a lot of intelligence, a lot of alertness. So it's that kind of a Soma juice. Soma juice is completely different. So here, Traividya Mam Somapa Puta Papa. Now you please understand, is the Vedas meant to enjoy this Somapa, which is again a material thing? So many Trivedis and all, they want to enjoy or understand the Vedas because they want some higher standard of life. Just like people here in India, they want to go to the America. Why? Because they want to enjoy the higher standard of life. But for higher standard of life, they have to do a little bit of tapasya, gain a little bit of money, gain a little bit of knowledge. Then they go there, right? And you need visa and so many other restrictions are there. Why they want to go there? Because they want to enjoy the higher standard of life. So there are many Trivedis, when they get to know all these different things, desires are there to enjoy different things. So they follow a specific yagna. Yagna ishtva. I have a specific ishta yagna. I want to please this particular devata and I want to go to this particular loka only. So they do all this type of yagnas and they swargatim prarthayante. Swargatim. They want to go to that Swargati where they have their Ishta Devata and they please that Ishta Devata and they go there. They enjoy. But what is the ultimate thing? The ultimate thing is they want to enjoy a little bit. Special thing with the, or they want to perform devotion to that specific Devata. But ultimately, Shine Punne Martyalokam Vishanti. Ultimately, when the Punya is Shina, it is over, exhausted, they have to come back. But the Trivedis are doing like this. Bhagavatas are completely different. They are only thinking of how to please the Lord. I want to understand the Vedas only because I want to please the Lord. That is the difference between the Trivedis and the Bhagavatas. The Trivedis are following the Vedas, but for their own sense gratification. But the Bhagavatas, they follow the Vedas and they perform yajna, but for the pleasure of the Lord. That is the difference. And because there is that difference, the ultimate goal, the gati, is also different. The ultimate goal is also different for them. It's completely different. That's why Krishna is saying that these people go to the Swarloka, Surendra Lokam, but whereas we, Bhagavatas, who are at least trying to become Bhagavatas, our destination is Golokadham. That is the difference.
Okay, Prabhuji.
That's why when we understand the Bhagavad Gita, there are these differences. Always there is Taratamya. Taratamya means there are gradations. Even in the devotees and people who follow the Vedas, there are gradations. And this gradations, this Bheda is required and that is understood properly when we understand Bhagavad Gita systematically. This
Prabhuji,
is,
just had one query, sorry, that
yeah.
in the Vedas is the names of the gods not clearly mentioned? Or is
It
it
is
there to in the Vedas? Is it that they have mentioned the gods of the nature like sun god, moon god?
no. What happens is, see, all these different things that we see, there are positions. Like Indra is a position.
Yes,
Indra is a position. Surya is also a position. Like I told you, Dwadash Adityas. Now, each
yes,
of
yes.
the Dwadash Aditya, every Devata, when we say this specific, these are positions like Chief Minister, Prime Minister, these are different positions. But the person who acquired that position is different. Like, for example, our Indra, his name is Purandara. The current Indra, his name is Indra. We call him just Chief Minister. Oh, Indra.
Hmm.
But his name is there, separate. He's Purandara Indra. That means his name is Purandara, but he's taken the position of a Indra. Now, next time Bali Chakravarti will become Indra, the position is Indra
Yes,
of Indra, but his name is Bali, like that.
correct.
So everyone,
Understood.
all the devatas, like Surya's another name is Marthanda. So like that, many
So Prabhuji, it
names.
means that even they can lose their position and come to Mrityu Loka.
Now, devatas, when they can
Huh.
come only when they are cursed. For example, Indra, he became a pig
Yeah.
in this material world. He came to Bhuloka and became a pig because he was cursed by his own guru, Brahaspati. He became a pig here.
Brihaspati.
They come, but that is temporary. Why temporary?
Yeah, and
Because
then he did lot of uh, penance.
They do penance, they curse, and they come back, and they sometimes come here for certain pastimes also. They come, but generally, it so happens that every devata, there is a specific time period which is given to them for ruling. See, there are devatas, there are different types of devatas. There are Vasus, there are Maruts, then there is Indra, then there are different categories. Vayu Dev is there, Agni Dev is there, then Garuda is there. Like that, there are many, many, many categories. That's why there is Taratamya. This Taratamya, we have to understand. Kaksha. Kaksha means like these rivers, like Ganga, Yamuna, everybody has their positions. So uh, there is a specific kaksha. Kaksha means there is a specific designated place every devata has, and not all the devatas are in the same level. They are in different levels and gradations. There is somebody in devatas also. There are somebody higher, lower. All this categorization and differentiation is there. Hierarchy is there. In the devatas also there are hierarchy, and each devata, based on their hierarchy, they have been given allotted a certain time period for ruling. For example, now for every 72 cycles the Indra will change. The Manus every 72 Manvantara, every Manvantara there is a change of this administration happens. So next Manvantara or next sometimes it is next cycle itself. So based on the kakshas, there are rulers for the Manvantara, there are rulers for uh, the Lord Brahma's one day. There are certain rulers who rule for the whole day of Brahma. So like that, based on their positions and their punya, they have been allotted a certain time phase to rule. So in that, they may sometimes come down because of curse or some for pastimes they may come down, but the position will not be lost. For Purandara, if the Lord has promised him certain position, that position will be there for that particular phase. That period will be given to him. They will not fall down. They will fall down after that period is over, or they may get liberated from there based on their
Okay.
devotion. They may also get liberated there.
So basically, they're divine offices actually.
Oh yes, exactly. You got it right.
They're
Actually, they
divine
are
offices with certain positions and power.
exactly. It's divine position. Actually, if somebody can make a movie, no, it will be a hit on this. If they
Yeah.
understand this thing properly and they make
It's
one
very interesting
complete,
solution.
high budget movie has to be made. We have to really devotees have to work on this and make a high budget movie, and we have to display. Oh, what a pastime it is! Just if we take this Yayati story, if we take this, I have just explained a little bit, but all these details, if we take and make one movie, it will be amazing. It will be a grand hit actually. So like that, there are so many things. Very like divine office. That's a good term. I'll use it sometime. Divine offices are there.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So there is another in the chat section, some question. Vinod is asking, my question is why Krishna did not come to save the bhaktas when they were cruelly killed in ISKCON temple, Bangladesh. Oh my God. So there are certain things, not just in Bangladesh, even when Aurangzeb was attacking our temples. It's not that Lord cannot protect or he doesn't want to protect, but there are certain natural laws. So what happens is many times, that's what I told you. Mrityu is like avabrata snana. I had explained this earlier also. Avabrata snana. When yajna is performed, at the end, you know that yajmana, they yajmana of the yajna of a particular ritual, they do that avabrata snana. It's a purifying thing. Many times, after this whole lifetime, when we have performed certain devotion and everything, mrityu becomes avabrata snana. So we may see it as death. Now, for the wrongdoings these people have done for the temple and the devotees, that reaction they will get. But we should not consider that the devotees met an untimely death like that. It's wrong thing because Krishna allots something to a devotee seeing many parameters. The devotee's past karma is there, their devotion, the intensity of devotion, how much they have. In every situation, the devotees are only promoted higher and not lower. We are seeing what the destruction of the body alone. But from Krishna's perspective, it is avabrita snana. It is only purifying. Mrityu becomes purifying for them. So when Krishna wants certain purification for the devotees to undergo certain purification, he gives them mrityu. If that mrityu, we are thinking mrityu is not a wrong thing. How can it be a wrong thing or something which is not right when Krishna himself is saying, I am mrityu? How can Krishna say himself as something unpurifying or something which is not right? Krishna is saying mrityu because he is mrityu. Mrityu, that means if Krishna is saying I am mrityu, that means it's all auspicious. Mrityu is also auspicious. And especially for a devotee, it's all auspicious. Mrityu, devotees are never worried about this mrityu. So all these different transactions can be understood only by Krishna. See, those devotees who actually went away in Bangladesh, we see it as, these Muslims have come and destroyed and, they died, they killed. But there are many other reasons that karmic reasons are there. The intensity of their devotion is there. All these different parameters we don't know, only Krishna knows. We can only know that Krishna has only given them protection in certain way. There was more something was supposed to happen, but Krishna gives them better thing. Because for a devotee, yoga kshemam vahamyam. When they have done certain devotion, that remains in your permanent spiritual bank account, that will never be lost. So that is always there. Your spiritual bank account will always remain. So the devotee's change of body is only change of body. That's it. We have to look it in that sense. Even if we die tomorrow, if I die tomorrow, I have to be prepared to just change his dress. That's it. I have to take it in that way. Then only I am elevated in my consciousness. That is how I should see. Now somebody became a nimitta for that killing. That is a different thing now. See, when Arjuna was also killing so many people, he was killing, right? Killing so many his relatives and devotees. He was killing actually. We cannot compare the killing of Arjuna to the killing of these people. It's different, but killing was there. The killing action is there. The action and reactions for all these things will be meted out properly by Krishna. But who gets what? That only Krishna knows. But we should, as from our devotional perspective, we should know why he allowed. He allowed because ultimately it's good for the devotees only. He allows certain things for the benefit of the devotees. That's why full confidence in Lord. He's saying that ananyas chintayanto ma. Think ananyas chintayanto ma. With full confidence and undeviating devotion, you surrender to me. That is what. So when we have that full confidence in Krishna, yoga kshemam vahamyam will happen. So Krishna many times he gives us this death to test our own devotion also, no? Oh, when these devotees, when they came and attacked, the devotees were really dependent on Krishna or not? Did they have ananyas chintayanto mam, exclusive devotion or not? That to test, sometimes devotees also have to give some test, no? Prahlad Maharaj gave test. His own father was attacking him in so many different ways. Many ways. But what did Prahlada do? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam happened to him. Why? Because he was exclusive dependency. Anytime. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He is testing Prahlada, such a great devotee. He is Mahabhagavata. If he can test Mahabhagavata like Prahlada, will he not test you and me? He will test you and me also. At the point, he gives you death. Death is the greatest test. It's the final exam for all of us. So are we prepared? So he is testing for those devotees also. He must have tested that also to them. Are they prepared for death? If they were prepared, they will be elevated and they'll be promoted in some places. So all this is test. Why we should take it in that way. Devotees, death means test for us. Hopefully that gave you some answers. But anyway, today we had really a long session after a long time. So we have discussed a lot of things, and we will discuss more in the coming. And I think we have to continue a little bit more on this verse. Let's see tomorrow. Next session we will continue from where we have left. All right. So good. Thank you so much for joining, and we will again continue from where we have left. Please take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.